I got two hands, I got my mouth, I know how to earn money.
She absolutely does. She doesn't miss a trick. I guess I could take my headphones off here. Okay. I was, I guess that was the last show Kevin did. I was listening to his defense on some of the facts that I presented about him. Oh, yeah, he went to culinary school just to work on a ship and be the cook. You know, look, I worked on a ship or two myself, and they take anybody really to be a cook on there if they were willing to do it. And some chose to do that as a little diversion from their regular work. And Kevin was really trying hard he was being very defensive as to the facts that I presented about him. He fucked up on a few things on there, which he lied about. Kind of like, covering his tracks. Yeah. He comes from a very tumultuous background. My God, you could probably write a book on some of the experiences he's had and his failures. Oh, I just should have took a bunch of fucking clips, really. Just what he had to say in his defense on his last show, it was absolutely hilarious. Watching him kind of trip over himself in his defense of some of the facts that I presented. I mean, the guy had to go to a halfway house and for drunks, and that's pretty much his own words. For drunks. Some things don't change, I guess. Yeah, I had a fun show last night before I went to. I had a fun show last night before I went to bed. Actually, was. My goodness, I was just besides myself. The point I'm making here is that the common practice here on YouTube is that everybody likes to make a point of somebody else and tries to find fault with everybody else. But then when you self-examine, or when you examine these people, the very people that try to find fault with you, then when information comes up that kind of exposes who they're really all about, oh, they fall apart. In other words, what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. Come on. I have every goddamn right to express myself as well as these people find the time, and boy, do they find a lot of time, to express themselves about me. But I always come out ahead. Why? Because truth prevails over lies. Sooner or later. That's why. When you find out more and more about these people, then when you do present the truth to them, they just fall apart. Oh, they go on the attack like crazy. But you know what? Things are kind of like leveling out, because the ground zero of anything that goes on here in this genre is discord. It's discord. This is where people, it's amazing I'm even talking about this because it sounds so fucking ridiculous, but it is what it is. These are where people get together and they have these discussion groups. And they come to their own conclusions about people on YouTube. And it's taken a long time, but finally people are coming around. And they're realizing all the lies these people have spoken about me and other people on here. They're putting it all together now. They're closing the chapter. And they're coming to the conclusion that these people are the worst. The tables have been turning to the dismay of the trolls. Turning. Finally. I think there's actually more people out there giving me support than most people know. And if you knew how many people actually email me, and that's not a, oh, Jay says, nobody emails you, Frank. Might? Nobody emails you, Frank. What the fuck do you know? Nobody emails me. You can get into my email too, Jay? Shut the fuck up. Fucking abo. People are irritants. Irritants. You see a fucking gnat, you swat it. Jay's a fucking gnat. Oh, and he loves group discussions. He could jump in there, and have his say behind his microphone. Yeah. Now, the word I use is touche. In other words, they could pump this shit out about me, but when I pump this shit out about them, I'm the bad guy with the black hat, proverbial black hat. And I really wear a hat. That's why I still have my hair. But I did point out, this was poignant. I really did point out some stuff last night. The commonality among a lot of these YouTubers, man. How did they all get together in one place, in one genre? And they have all these attributes, or if you want to call it an attribute. This commonality, I tell you, baldness, obesity, a really foul attitude. Is it uncanny? Is it how do they all wind up together in one genre? Well, I don't know. You know what they say, birds of a feather stick, they flock together. They find each other. Water seeps its own level and all this other shit, Guess there's got to be some scientific proof to that. But I'm very happy to report that it's been coming together. People are finally seeing and hearing now what's really going on. Kevin, of course, is not going to talk about what's really going on with his children, okay? Everybody has something to hide. Because the fact is, and putting all bullshit aside, if he really cared about his children, he would not have made trips to Southeast Asia. He would have got on a goddamn airplane, and nobody's going to disagree with me. There's nobody, not even the trolls, and they're not going to admit it, but nobody's going to disagree with me. That if he gave a fuck about his children, no matter how many parents they came from, it's his children. My situation with my daughter is entirely different. I can make efforts to be in her life and this and that and resolve our problems, but like in his situation, he doesn't even try. Or maybe he has tried but failed because they just want nothing to do with him. Knowing his background with an alcoholic and getting arrested for this and that, carrying guns and bootlegging in Alaska and all the shit he did. Yeah, okay, it was years ago. But we're still talking about the same person. Some things just don't change. But the truth is, everybody knows this. Every single person that's listening to my voice knows this. There is no excuse for Kevin not visiting his children. Do you remember in the past getting funds, he wanted to go visit his children? He was just trying to get money off you. This is a Barry syndrome going on. If you people don't realize it, then you are stupid. Everything is about is the jingle in his pocket. He used the sympathy card a lot. But the fact is, people tried to help him get to the Philippines, but he refused. But he took their money, didn't he? He took their money. Big E helped him, other people helped him, tried to guide him. And he didn't care to do it. If he gave a shit about his children, he would not have hesitated. Because they're just in Australia, they're not that far. Not on really the other side of the world, really, even from Kentucky. He could make the long trip to Asia, but you're going to tell me that, and that's only like where he's staying, about maybe 4 hours away by plane. He can't make the concerted effort to visit the children that he loves so much that he boasts about. Let's get real, Kevin. I'm getting real right now. I'm getting as real as I could possibly be. There's no rebuttaling to this because it's fact. It's fact. You can't visit your children, but you're more interested in buying little toys and things that make noise and make colors and new microphones and shit and trips to Asia, but you can't go visit your children. You can't visit your children in Australia? There's no comeback on this, Kevin. There is no comeback on this. There is no excuse for that. And then once somebody was asking on a show in the past, not too long ago, how come you don't visit your children? Who said I wasn't going to? Was his answer. But has he visited his children? No, he hasn't visited his children. This is what I mean about people on YouTube. They're so full of shit. They can't back up what they say. They got to make up stories about somebody. Then when they run out of things to say about them, they'll create something new to say. Oh, like me being a draft dodger, and I could go on and on and on. Oh, about my girlfriend doesn't really love me. Get over yourselves, man. Kevin said some real interesting things on his last show. It was 16 hours. When was it? Anyway, he said some really interesting shit. I really wish I would have made the clip so I could be a little bit more accurate and more descriptive. But I should have made some clips of what he had to say, because on his show he was admitting doing all this shit, and he was kind of tripping over himself, talking about, as him being defensive about everything I spoken about him, just tripping over himself, trying to find the right words to justify anything. Well, it's not justifiable, Me, in my situation, yeah, me and my daughter are estranged, but it doesn't mean I haven't made efforts to communicate. It doesn't mean that I haven't tried. He has not tried. But then maybe in his situation, kids just doesn't want anything to do with him, period. But all these years that, he's been making money on YouTube, he's a clever guy. He may have had that bolo knife in his head, but let me tell you something. He has more money than you think, because if that information is true, that he has native Alaskan roots, like Eskimo, whatever it might be, Aleut, I don't know, could be Aleut, could be anything, then he has a qualification to be making money from the state of Alaska. This is a fact. If he really does, as somebody enlightened me on that. And if you look at him and his size and certain features about him, it's quite possible that he has some kind of Aleut or even actually Eskimo. Yeah, Eskimos still exist. Yes, they do. Not necessarily two people rubbing their noses together in affection, but I imagine they still do that. Eskimos still exist, and his family line could have gone back to that. If that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, he's been fucking with you for a long time, because his disability or Social Security, whatever, and not to mention a pension from the state of Alaska, having native Alaskan roots, he's rolling in money. Don't buy his stories. He's complaining about not having any money or whatever, and he's always trying to get money from all you people, and you all give in to this. This is a classic Barry syndrome is what it is. And maybe a lot of you have not been seeing this, but I have. It's classic Barry material. Barry pretending he wasn't getting his social and all that, and the whole time he was, and people were sending him money. And Big Kevin doing the same damn thing, because he's probably getting state money. Because, if you live in Alaska, I think you have to be native to Alaska or born there. And if he has roots in combination of being, if you've lived there, you can get a certain amount of money from the state. If you live there a certain amount of time, I understand. But if you have roots, any kind of native roots to the state of Alaska, to the heritage of Indian heritage, then you get a check from the government. Do the research on that. I haven't, but do the research on that. So he's been pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. He's very clever. He may be a fucktard in a lot of ways, but he's very clever on trying to make money and not spend his own money. I told you, it's the classic Barry syndrome. Nothing different. He has a different angle, however, than Barry did, but it's all the same. And the information he gives out, it does not match the research and facts that have been presented. It's my understanding he had a native wife, this is all tying in, who someone said was a real bitch. And he had a child that died, a baby that died. And I do remember in the past, Kevin, since this is all tying in, I do remember Kevin actually talking about it, mentioning it once. My memory ain't that bad when it comes to certain people on here. Because there's some things you can't forget, because sometimes you find it so unbelievable. And, you got to memorize it because, you've heard it, and you might have questioned it. But then later on, facts come up, and you pull all this information together. Kevin has been playing his part. He plays it on Big E. He plays it on everybody. The poor guy who got a bolo knife in his head, disability from that, okay, fine. But he's overplaying everything to get your sympathy, to give him money. Do not kid yourself. When Kevin was living with his aunt, you better believe that he was paying rent and everything there. He was in a position to do it even back then. Because he was getting money from the state of Alaska. When he said he worked in the mines, now as a cook, he wasn't tearing ass in the mine. He worked as a cook, and then he worked on a ship. And he worked as a cook on there, and he said, I went to culinary school. Really, you went to culinary school to work on a ship? Come on, this shit ain't just pulling together. It just really isn't. But it's like, it's fantastic to catch these people in so many lies and make a fool out of them, or actually let them make a fool out of themselves. Like I said on my show last night, everybody tries to attack other people on here, but then when you look at their lives and you look how, the socioeconomical thing, there's psychological things going on, there's morality issues. Everybody's making judgment on others, but then when you take a really good look at all these people, and I'll be specific to ones where I'm being attacked, all the time. People try to find fault with me, but it never works out. Oh, okay. Kevin was saying on his show about me having a terrible life and I wouldn't want to have his life. No, Kevin, you would love to have my life. Yeah. And why would you love to have my life? Because I'm stable. I actually have a woman that really wants to be with me, Kevin, and I don't have to pay for them at the bars in order to have them to sit down and you have to give them a drink to sit down and talk to you. I don't have to do that because I don't even go to bars. But you and bars go back a long time, you and alcohol, you even bootlegging alcohol. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you wish you had my life, Kevin. You wish you had my life. You wish you had a woman that would want to be with you. For you, not for a free drink. You wish you had a stable woman in a relationship as long as I have. You only wish at your late age that you could even accomplish this. And you probably will never be either going to drop dead before you could find a woman, or you're just not going to find a woman because, well, you are Kevin after all. With all its faults and glory of it, you are Kevin Hankinson. That's who you are. You got a checkered past. You're still checkered. You lie on your shows. You lie to your viewers. You lie to the people that have helped you out and tried. And people have tried to help him out. I got to give some kudos to people like Big E. When it's due, I'll give it. That's the difference between me and these people. Big E tried to help him out many times, and other people with immigration issues, but he didn't want to. He didn't want to do. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know, I got to do that. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to go back to the Philippines, and for good reason. You just don't get a bolo knife in your head for nothing. He did not even want to make a tried effort. They would actually escort him. Don C. even escorted him to the immigration office, and nothing got accomplished. Nothing. He doesn't want to go back to the Philippines. That's not his endeavor. But the thing that gets me is he lied to so many people throughout the years he's been on his show about his financial situation, this and that. He was making plenty of money. He was making plenty of money from the state of Alaska. Plenty. Pulling the wool over his viewers' eyes. Hello, Region. Kevin worked entry-level jobs. It's just that simple, yeah. And a kid still in high school can get a job flipping burgers, yeah. Kevin lied to all his viewers. And you should be pissed off about that all these years, he's trying to pull himself off as a feel sorry for me. I got a bolo knife in my head. I'm obviously not all there. The way I talk, my thinking process. It's very obvious to everybody. And we're not making fun of that. It's a horrible thing. No matter what happened, no matter what the rhyme or reason was that he got a bolo knife in his head, that was a horrible incident. Just like Nico getting blown up. You could like these people or not these people, but shit happens, and shit did happen. They didn't cause it. Well, excuse me when I say they didn't cause it. Kevin likely caused it. Like I said many times over, nobody gets a fucking bolo knife in their head unless they've done something pretty fucking radical. Of course, he'll blame it on the other guy. Oh, yeah, he was drunk or whatever. It was my sister, brother-in-law or something. Kevin has given excuses about just about everything on here. Everything. But you keep on giving him money when the guy does not need any money. I mean, like, I don't care what you give to him. It ain't coming out of my pocket. I'm just saying, you got another Barry thing going on here, guys. If you can't see it, then I guess you never will. You never will. I caught him in so many lies, even on his explanation last night. He was kind of, having his own little rebuttal going on, But he tripped over himself in his explanation of the facts presented on him. He didn't do a very good job of explaining. He admitted he was an alcoholic in a halfway house for troubled people who drink, gun possessions, bootlegging. Yeah, he says, well, that was my past when I was just young. But you're doing the same shit now, Kevin. Nothing has changed. You're still trying to screw people over, relieve their pocket of their money. You're still doing it. That part of his brain still works, and he's doing a great job of it. Let's feel sorry for Kevin. There's nothing to feel sorry about. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I'll guarantee you he's getting some kind of a state pension from Alaska, having native blood. Oh, yeah. This all has come to my attention just recently, okay? His ties in Alaska, and that's why he was there and why he worked and he lived there. His ties in Alaska, blood ties. Someone said the tribe would be, well, Eskimo. It could be a number of them, It could be Aleut, perhaps, although he doesn't look Aleut from the Aleutians. And Kevin, you wanted to know where I worked, as per proof. I worked in Cold Bay, Alaska, and I worked in Akutan, Alaska. Okay? Yes, I have actually worked in Alaska. I didn't stay there long, it don't matter, but I've been there, I worked there. I worked on a barge in Akutan Bay, which was a processor barge, right in the middle of fucking Akutan, in the middle of fucking nowhere. I worked in Cold Bay, Alaska, also milked in Aleutians, in the middle of nowhere. They had the Flying Tigers store and bar there and a supply depot at the Air Force Base there. Flying Tigers, whether they're still there, I don't know. Yeah, I did work there, Kevin. I did work there. So yes, I have been in Alaska. I've been in Anchorage too. Cold Bay, Akutan, there you go. Hello, Princess Anne. Good morning to you. It's the fucking lies, man. They're coming at you at every fucking angle. Everybody has something to say about me, but god damn it, take a look at these fucking people. Yeah, defend yourself on that. Go ahead, anybody. Defend yourself on that. You got nothing to talk about me. And I'll answer that question again. Did I live in a horrible life? I wouldn't want to live. Kevin, you only wish you had what I have. And we're not talking about money. You only wish, and some people only wish to have it. I got a fantastic woman, Kevin. And she's with me for me. Not for fucking money that you'd like to believe or anybody else. She don't have to be here if she don't want to be. She could kick me out of this house anytime she wants. Because technically, although I'm on the title, she owns a place. If she didn't want to be with me, I'd be on the fucking street. Simple as that. Nothing else said. I got a real relationship. I'm stable. I'm grounded, which you're not, Kevin. And most of the other people are not either. I'm grounded. You're not. You're chasing your tail in different Southeast Asian countries, and you're not achieving your goal. It's because who you are, Kevin. And it's not necessarily your looks and stuff, although that would scare people away. Because you look like a fucking, like somebody you'd want to meet in the middle of the night. Believe me, I know my brother's kid, my nephew, he's a big guy. And he actually has some sort of form of autism, but he's a functional job for the past 30 years. He's a functional person, but it's a form of autism. It's called, I think there's a thing called tubular sclerosis. But he's functional. A lot of things he can't do, though. He can't really understand the value of money and stuff like this. Different inefficiencies that he has. But he's functional. He's functional. And he has a bald head, just like, he's a big guy too. I mean, he's at least 6 foot tall. My nephew. He's still in Indiana. And kind of a person, the eyes and everything. If you met him in a dark alley, you'd be pissing your fucking pants. You'd just literally be pissing your fucking pants. That kind of look. And Kevin, you got that kind of look. So it's really, you know, anybody's going to accept a drink from you, Kevin. And I'm not trying to be cruel to you. I'm just trying to paint the picture because you haven't been very nice to me and nor Gilda. And I'm using this opportunity and every opportunity I can because I have the right, I have the absolute right to say what I need to say. It's not always one-way street where somebody talks about me and I can't say anything about them. Nah, it doesn't work that way. I have the right to voice my opinion too, as well as anybody else. But at least my opinion is usually based on facts, unlike other people on here. You're a fuck up, Kevin, is what you are. And whether, you know, and you've been a fuck up all your life. In and out of fucking jails for illegal things and drinking and intoxication and firearms and bootlegging liquor. Oh, come on, man. Hey, girls, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What now? What now? The door's open. You can go out. Just leave the cats alone, please. No more disasters. So if you listened to last night's show, I brought out a lot of good points, didn't I? I really did. And we have a lady, a Filipina that comes on my show, Mama San, and she knows these characters. A lot of them. Maybe not Big Kevin per se, but she knows the other characters on here. She knows what they're all about. She knows it all, hears it all, because these people frequent the bar she works in. Everybody has something to say about Frank Battaglia. Everybody has something to say about me. What makes me so popular? Well, I must got something going for me here because everybody comes by, wants to listen to even make copycat shows of me. I've said in the past, I've arrived, apparently. Although I've always been there. Everybody has something to say, but it's not something good. Why is that? Because maybe they don't have my life, and they might have all the money in the fucking world, to have the fattest fucking wallet, but it doesn't mean that their life is in control. And we know some facts about people on here that we can verify that their life is out of control, or else they wouldn't do the things that they do. Sure, there's nothing really exciting about my life. I call the shots like they are. It is what it is. I don't try to overplay my life on here. Some may say you got a boring life, Frank. Well, I know it's boring to one person. It may be totally acceptable and wonderful to somebody else, and acceptable and comfortable. I'm not having any complaints about my life. I don't have any. I may not like some of the circumstances that are going on, but my life in itself, I feel comfortable, I feel happy, and that's all that matters. It's my life, it's not anybody else's. You don't have to live my life. But Kevin, when you make these lame comments that Frank's life is fucked up, Gilda doesn't want to be with me, well, she is with me, Kevin, and you hate that fact because you can't get a solid woman. That's not my fault. Self-examine. I have nothing to do with your social life, Kevin Hankinson. I have nothing to do with your social life. Nothing. It's your gig. It's your personality. It's your character. But, you know, that really gets to me is that you lie to so many of your fucking viewers. Even Kuya John, the real Kuya John, that don't even help you out anymore because he knows you're a fucking scammer. Brain damage or not, you know about mathematics and money. You're getting fucking Alaska State help is what you're getting. On top of everything else, you got good money coming in. Stop pretending that, oh, I don't know. I try to budget my money. Budget my ass. What are you saving for anyway? A new brain? That ain't gonna happen. Saving your money for what? For what? What are you saving your money for? A rainy day? Jesus Christ, I mean, Kevin, wake up. Wake up and smell that Copaco. Wake up. You're chasing your tail. I'm not trying to be cruel to you, Kevin, but you're a cruel person. And the only reason you have a show is because of me, like anybody else. You would not have anything intellectual to talk about if it wasn't for me. That's a fact, and everybody agrees with it. Frank, same as Popeye. There's a commonality between all these people. Besides baldness, besides obesity, there's a commonality with all these people. They don't have what I have. And I never really thought I had much, but when I really think about it, comparatively to these people who always have a lot to say about me, I'm saying, man, Frank, you do have a lot. When I really examine the situation, I do have a lot after all. Maybe I just never realize it, you know. Maybe I take my life for granted, but when I read the about it. Look at me, man. I got a birthday coming up in a few days. I'm gonna be 70 fucking one. And I'm probably healthier than most of these people. I'm not obese. I'm not losing my hair. I've got my sanity. And now I believe more than ever. If I even question, listen to them. That's all you have to do. Listen to them. It's pathetic. Look at Popeye as a great example. He's always been a great example. You don't live back in the Subic Bay days, Popeye. You're living in the now. It's about time that you learn to live in the now. And a lot of people, I guess you've heard this, they're comparing him to Johnny Warrior now. Oh, they sure are. What do you call that? False, I forgot the name of that. Where he's embellishing his past. He never did all the things that he never ever, like Johnny Warrior claimed he did. He never ever fought anywhere. He never saw a battle anywhere. But when he did a show the other day for about Memorial Day, he got very somber. Yeah, it's really bad what I experienced. You didn't experience shit except cleaning latrines and being a fucking security guard, Popeye. Stop over embellishing what you did. Okay, let's give him kudos. You served your country. I have no problem with that. And I don't think anybody else has a problem with that. Congratulations, no matter what you did, whether you pushed pencils, whether you were a glorified security guard, you did serve. No problem. I'm not going to argue that. And I never really did. Kudos. But don't be a false, what is that fucking word? Okay. Don't pretend to be something that you're not. Because there's some veterans out there that are actually pretty pissed off, as I understand. They're pretty pissed off at him. False valor. False valor. Yeah, false valor. Popeye didn't see no action. The only action he's seen is with his fucking right hand jacking off to a picture of Gilda. That's the only action he's fucking seen. They over-embellish what they did in their life. I've at least made my own accomplishments, and whether I went to college for something and whether I actually went into a career, for example, in that particular endeavor, well, a lot of people have sheepskin and they change their mind. People become lawyers and say, fuck it, I like carpentry, I'm going back to carpentry, this is too stressful for me or whatever. It's a choice that you make in life. But sometimes you make other choices because you've got to survive. When I moved to Seattle, I mean, there was no photography work there at the time. I had to, like anybody else, I had to take a job. Because I had to pay I had to pay the rent. I didn't ask anybody to pay my rent. I had to pay the rent. I'd take on whatever job I could, even if it was casual labor. I used to go out in the Fremont area in Seattle, and where they had people used to come over, hey, I got a driveway to pour, I got a job for you guys for a couple of days. Hey, I'll take you, and I'll take you, because I need 3 people. I used to do that. But I made the effort to support myself. I made the effort. I wasn't on YouTube begging for fucking money. But you carry yourself no matter where you go, and you carry your past too, no matter where you go. You ain't gonna run away from your past. You're not gonna do that because it's part of you. It's part of you. How there, Philippines? Where's my hair? That's funny as shit. It's just funny as shit. It just is. It just is. These people spend an enormous, hold on, I gotta get a hot bowl out of here. They spend an enormous amount of time trying to find fault with me. But then look at them. Take a good look at them and their lifestyle. Take a really good look. Take a long look. And what do you see? Yeah, the tides have changed. Apparently, the tides have changed. And the information that has come up about a lot of these people on here that we know as trolls, and the information that's been coming out is finally proving how fucked up they really are. Oh yeah, Frank's this, Frank's that, but you still listen to me, don't you? So I must have something to say. Pardon me, I'm just preparing my bowl here. Ouch, 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 and double ouch. That was hot. That was hot. So I think you get my drift. It's easy to talk about somebody, but then the facts come out about these people, and lo and behold, look at their life. Examine their life. And you think their life is better than mine? I disagree. I don't have to account for my life or anything in it. Relationship, money, this or that or this. I don't have to. I'm just living my life. Albeit, maybe I don't have as much money, or maybe that you don't, as some of these other people. But I don't use my wallet. I don't use my wallet to keep a Filipina in my life. I don't use my wallet at all. Let's just say I'm one of the fortunate saps, I want to call me that fell in love with a Filipina. And when I met my girlfriend, I never mentioned what I did for a living. I never mentioned how much money I had. Nothing. Zero. She took to me for me, not the size of my wallet, how fat it was. I think it's pathetic when people use their fat wallets to get women. They go, I'm the man. I'm the man. Are you really the man? Take a good look at yourself. And the only reason a lot of these vloggers have women hanging around them is because of the money. I mean, look at Ricky. You think he'd get any woman to hang around with him? Look at the guy. Personality, he's crazy. He's a fucking psycho. You think anybody's gonna have a relationship with him? I don't think so. Unless they pay for it. I don't have to pay for nothing. Every night, here's your $100. You've earned it, honey. Here's your $100. Shit, Ricky's girlfriend don't even want to be on camera. She's smart. I like her. I like her. Say what you want. I like her. But she could do a lot better to make any money. Look, it's been established. I'm not knocking Apple. It's been established that, she does work for an agency. And if for some reason she don't, my apologies in advance to her. But no, we know that as a fact. I mean, Ricky admits it. Hey, I'll pay. Who cares, Okay, that is your life after all. I mean, should we care? I'm just saying, I think it's sad as shit that at that age, you can't find a woman. Do you know how many women are in the Philippines? It seems insane that you have to pay for your dates every night. There's so many women out here. And they're not all looking for everybody's money like people think they are. The typical stereotype. That does not apply to all Filipinas. Anyway, Kevin, get your facts straight. I know it makes you feel better to say all these things about me and knock me, and people make up things that don't even exist about my life. Draft dodger, this, that, Gil don't want to be with me, and blah, blah, blah. It's Jimmy's house, all this crap. Fucking get a life, man. I did. I do got a life, Kevin, and others. I do got a life. Thank you very much. And I'm not complaining about it. So if I'm not complaining about it, why are you? I know, because you could. People get bitter with other people because they may have something that, You don't have? Shit, my girlfriend's worth all the money in the world. I wouldn't change a thing. Wouldn't even try. But talk is easy. Hello, Abo J. Melby. Cabin probably smuggled alcohol into the mines with the pancakes. Oh, and Kevin is relentless, though. Oh, it's like a Barry syndrome again. Here we go again, right now, Kevin. He'll do another show again, putting me down to try to get people's money. I'm going to tell you guys, this is my theory. He's got more money than you think he does. He don't want to spend it. He wants you to put the jingle in his pocket. Same thing as Barry. Same goddamn thing. Ain't nothing different. He's got it going. He knows what he's doing. Even if he is a fucktard, he knows what he's doing, and he's doing it very well. Countless people have tried to help him in circumstances to get his act together, but he just won't, or he can't. He's chasing his tail all over Asia now. Oh, I got a girlfriend for 9 months. No, you don't. You don't have a girlfriend. You could pose in the camera in front of anyone. And you can hang around Big E with all his women and stuff and claim that all these women are interested in me. Here, honey, give me a little peck on the lips. Make it look like I'm a real player. Shit, give her a couple of bots. Duzzy bots. I'll do you a little Italian to you. It means stupid. Duzzy bots. Gulasia. It means shut up, you stupid ass. That's Italian for you. Let my Italian come out. State zitto means to shut up. You'll get my Italian going. You're a worthless fucking human being, Kevin. And it sucks to be you. Let's just get it all out. It sucks to be you. Don't be envious of me. Get your life together. Get your life together. Don't worry about mine. I'm not complaining. Should have got a 71st birthday coming up in a few days. Really? You really think you're going to live to be my age, Kevin? I don't think so. Or Ricky, I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't think so. So why don't you spend your time doing the right things in your life instead of and this applies to anybody. Life is short. Oh, you'll know it if you get some kind of bad disease. Oh, you'll know how life is short. And then you can look back and say, I can't believe I spent all this fucking time on YouTube attacking other people. What a waste of oxygen that was for you. Don't you think? For what? To get your jollies? But I guarantee you, when you're on your sick bed, you're on your deathbed, the last thing you're going to be interested in is YouTube. The last thing you're going to care about is who's doing this, who's zooming who's doing this, who's gossiping about the other. You're not going to give a shit about it at all. See, that's reality. When reality hits, your mind goes into a different mindset. How insignificant all this back and forth shit is on YouTube. So absolutely insignificant. Irrelevant. So when that day comes, my understanding is that, I don't know if it's true, Flying Circus had a stroke. I'm sure he's doing a lot of thinking. I'll guarantee he's doing a lot of thinking. Well, it may not stop him from doing the same shit he does, but... You know, the thing is, in life, you have to pay for everything you do. And I don't mean necessarily money. Just payment for every damn thing you do. Just hateful people. Oh, yeah, I wish Frank does get deported. Why? What is the real reason? Examine yourself with that statement. Why? Because I tell the truth on my show? Maybe you can't handle the truth, so you got to be very defensive and then get offensive. Examine yourself. You don't have to say it to me. Examine what's really going on. I mean, what's really going on. It's not me. I'm not the problem. You're the problem. I may not have a lot of subscribers, but I have a very successful Philippines YouTube show. I've been around for a very long time. Maybe the numbers are not big because I don't really branch out. I don't really make efforts to get the channel known, the metadata, all that shit. I don't do that because I don't really care. I think it's a cozy little channel, and I think it's comfortable, grassroots. I mean, it's not based on making money. Oh, they say I beg. When do I beg? Oh, because maybe I bring up a Gcash now and then and say, hey, maybe I should jump on that platform. Well, I have a local guy living here as a new show. And he's jumping on the platform because he figures, well, maybe that couple $100 he could possibly make could really help. That's not going to make a difference to me, making a couple $100 a month. But to some people, making a couple of $100 a month is the difference between surviving and not. So thank God for YouTube, right? How happy people are to have that platform to be able to get some bucks together so they don't fucking starve their asses. And a lot of these people out there, they don't look like they're starving to me, brothers. They don't look like they're starving to me. Not at all. They'll criticize you for just about everything. On the fact that you take supplements, that you have some concern anyway. As I said, I'm not perfect. I still smoke. I realize I shouldn't. I'm not perfect. I never said I was. But I at least try to do other things good. And these people don't have the capacity to do so. Maybe they just don't fucking care. That could be it too. Maybe they just don't give a fuck. And that's their prerogative. That's their prerogative. They don't have to give a fuck. There's no rule that says that they have to give a fuck about anything in their life. Just carry on, eat as much as you possibly can, drink as much as you fucking can. Look at Jay. Do you think his life is going anywhere? No. He knows how to run his mouth like a lot of other people do on here, but that's about it. Living his life with his mommy because, well, he needs his mommy because she's the only one that knows how to handle his seizures. And he don't want to admit to that. He don't want to admit to that. But whatever, whatever. That's Jay's life. And I guess we shouldn't be really concerned about it. Jay's not happy. A lot of these people are not happy. So their reasoning is to try to make somebody unhappy. No, you're not in control of that. That's the whole thing. You can't take away somebody's happiness by calling them a name or something. It don't work that way. If somebody's living a decent life, and, there's a lot of definitions of what a decent life is. As long as a person's happy with their life, then it's none of anybody else's business. Is it? No. Don't worry about my life. If I'm happy, that's all that matters. Kevin, especially you, why don't you wake up and really do something with your life? I don't know what. I don't know. You have a unique situation. I wouldn't know how to instruct you on that. But number one, stop playing a victim. Stop playing a guy who needs money. There's things you can do. Stop being like Barry. Where did it get him? Where? pretending you ain't got no money. You probably got more money than a lot of people on here, inclusive of myself. You want people to pay your way through your life. You want people to hold your hand and guide you to get something done. But if it was only for this one particular thing having to do with your children, and that's just one major thing, Kevin Hankinson, there is no excuse. In your situation, for sure. Absolutely no excuse that you're not in your children's life. Mine's a different situation entirely. But you put the money together to go live in Asia and everything else, and you're telling me, and you're telling everybody that you can't go visit your children. You're a louse. I can understand why they probably, and he has a grown son. Apparently the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because I've heard things about his son getting in trouble. A very tumultuous life you've had. I'll tell you something, Kevin. It don't matter what situation I have with my kid. I was there for her, raising her. You weren't. The mothers of your children were raising your children, not you. You were too busy going out drinking and partying and bootlegging liquor and acting like a fucking drunken asshole. That's what you did. There's no rebuttaling to this, Kevin, because it's fucking fact. It's just fact, not fiction. Your life ain't the greatest thing in the world, so don't make judgment on my life. Because you can't. There's nothing to judge. You can make up all the shit you want, say I'm unhappy with this and that. No, I'm not. I'm the one that makes that kind of a statement or ideology. I'm the one that determines that, not you. Say all you want about me, but it doesn't mean it's true. That goes for anybody else, of course. Of course it does. Just take a look at yourself, Kevin. That's all you need to do. Put that proverbial mirror in front of yourself and see what a fuck up you are. You know, I can easily say, well, I'm sorry what happened to you, you know, the bolo knife incident. But unless people know the details of what happened, I mean, they're not going to feel sorry for you. There's a lot more to that, because nobody gets a bolo knife in their fucking head unless they did something radically fucking wrong. And you're known for doing this kind of shit. There's no excuse. You can come on and put up in a show and try to rebuttal and refute everything I say. But truth is truth. Fact is fact. Whether you like it or not. I know talking about me is the same thing as Barry, same thing as any other show. Talk about Frank and I got topic matter. Because you can't hold the show without talking about somebody. You're like the ringmaster on there. Hey, don't forget to send money to me. Send money to you. Why? What makes you so fucking special? Besides being maybe a special person, if you know what I mean. Injury to the fucking brain. So we're supposed to treat you special. For what? For what? You're not special. You're an overweight, bald-headed booby. You're Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty. No matter where you go, I don't care if it's Vietnam or Thailand or bumfuck Egypt, you're still going to be Kevin Hankinson. That ain't going to change. You're not going to change your past, what you did, and you're certainly not going to change the present because you don't want to. There you go. So it's easy for you to throw out all your insults to me. And yes, you do attack Gilda quite often. If I ever fucking seen you in person, I would take that chance. Unless you sit on me. I would take that chance to fucking cold cock you. You're gonna piss your fucking pants. It's one thing to talk about me. You got a beef, whatever the hell that might be. Self-created beef. Hi, Kuya. You have it with me. You don't bring in my girlfriend. You don't bring in family. That's how low you are. And others. That's how low you people are. Low lifes. Proven low lifes. That have a lot to say about something, but they don't take that deep look at themselves. Oh, no, they don't. And if they did, well, they didn't understand how much of a fool they make out of themselves talking about anybody else when their life is not perfect. It's out of control. Totally out of control. And the reason I laugh at that is because I'm not really experiencing the things that these guys are experiencing. Thank goodness, small miracles. I'm not. They have a whole lot to say about me, but if I come up with some facts and I talk about them, they just fall apart. So don't kid yourself. Kevin's got money. It's another Barry syndrome. Well, Barry didn't have money, but he had a Social Security coming in, pretending that he didn't all this time. You people bought into that shit, and I laughed. And I laughed. And I continued to laugh. Maybe you give him money to spite me. But hey, it's coming out of your pocket, not mine. I can think of a lot of charitable things you could do with the money you give to these goobers on here. Not to support that kind of behavior. Then you're just as bad as he is. You condone that kind of behavior on here? Seriously? But you know, when these goobers get exposed, oh well, Frank ain't telling the truth. That's not real. You can put total facts in front of him. Go. I don't want to hear it here. Go. But when you get the facts out, they fall apart. How does it feel to be on the other side? And yeah, now more and more, I'm getting a hell of a lot more support from people. Now that on YouTube and on Discord, I'm getting a hell of a lot more support because people are finally waking up and they're putting the math together. Yeah, finally. Well, a lot of people knew about all these characters on here already. But I think as time goes by, they're starting to see the little and understand the dossier of some of these people on here. That they all do got a past and a present. Anyway, that's my good morning to you. Had my bowl of oatmeal and cinnamon. Yes, I did. I'm at least doing some things that are right in my life. My diet, whatever. You're not going to catch me hanging around some seedy, low-class fucking bar. And they all gravitate to the bars. You could have done that in your country. They're getting drunk as a skunk and their liver is like turning to fucking jello. No problem with me. It's not my liver. Your weight is also destroying your liver. Your enzyme levels like through the roof. If you drink, you better examine yourself. You better go get some images done of your liver and do some chemistry on your liver. Then come back and talk to me about it, honestly. And tell me how fucked up your liver is. Point the finger to me, but look at all the faults that a lot of these people have on here. What's that?
What's that? You wash.
Oh, no.
The red, they become, the white, they become red.
Oh, my shirt in there, yeah. And my wallet was in there, too. Oh, now I got a clean wallet. I left my wallet in my pants here. Okay, I'm going to have to put this in the sun. Let me get my ID stuff out of here. It wouldn't be the first time I've done that, actually. Hopefully it's the last. How about that? I need a new wallet anyway. This wallet has seen a lot of mileage, I'll tell you that. Okay, let me get this shit out of here. My goodness. Okay, I'll throw this in the sun. I didn't know. Okay. It wouldn't be the first time I forgot. When I took off my shorts and go to Washington, I had my wallet in there. At least I had some clean money. Instead of the dirty money that's being collected on YouTube by these beggars. Dirty money, yeah. Absolutely filthy money. Ill-gotten money. Based on lies. Okay, in the sun it goes. I gotta get a new wallet anyway. This one has seen a lot of wear and tear on it. Gives me a good excuse to buy another wallet, even a better one actually. Okay, so that's where we're at this morning. Oh, of course, Kevin's going to do another show. It's the only thing that fortifies his show. It's the only thing. He has a reason to go on because it's a troll channel, and every troll in existence comes on his show. And they support each other because they're all fucking losers. And where the people like losers gather, they gather with other losers. They try to support each other and their little theories about people. But again, I've exposed a lot of people on here for who they really are and what they're all really about. And I've done, I think, a damn good job of doing that, after all, haven't I? There's nothing you could say with me that's going to hurt my feelings. 10 years of this, come on. I developed elephant skin at this point. 10 years. Has it been that long? Kevin, there's nothing you can say about me that I haven't heard before by trolls like yourself. I'm just glad I'm not you. For all the money in the world, I would not want to be you. Your body, your looks, your shape, your disposition, your attitude, your cockiness, your lies. There ain't no money in the world. Even if I was going to die and said, you have a chance to stay alive, but you have to look and be like Big Kevin. I said, let me die. Just let me die. I would never want to be him, even if it would save my life. Never. Death would be more welcoming than to be like him or some of these other characters on here. With that being said, do your show now, Kevin. You need that jingle in your pocket. He and Barry and other people have taken you guys for a ride. He certainly has. I said, he's got money. I'm sure of it. Now that I know he has blood roots to Alaska, he's getting money from the state. It's a fact. I know people, because I worked in Alaska. If you were born in Alaska or have blood roots in Alaska and you resided in Alaska, you get X amount of money every single month. And he's been pulling the wool over your eyes, guys, ever since. He's getting his Social Security now, or his disability, whatever. He's getting donations on his channel. He's getting state money from Alaska. He's doing quite well. Don't let him kid you. He's doing quite well. You could fool some people, Kevin, but you don't fool me.
I am Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, your senior drill instructor. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to, and the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be sir. Do you maggots understand that?
Sir, yes, sir.
Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Sir, yes, sir.
If you ladies leave my island, if you survive recruit training, you will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death praying for war. But until that day, you are pukes. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit. Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I am fair. There is no racial bigotry here. I do not look down on niggers, kikes, wops, or greaser. Here you are all all equally worthless. And my orders are to weed out all non-hackers who do not pack the gear to serve in my beloved corps. Do you maggots understand that?
Sir, yes, sir.
Bullshit, I can't hear you.
Sir, yes, sir.
Well, happy birthday, young man. 21st birthday. You're a man now. You're a man now. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I wish I was your age, though. I wish I was, but I'm not. Well, happy birthday. Okay. Yeah, we have an official birthday today. John and Gilda's son. My stepson. That's right. Call it what you want. And my birthday swiftly coming up here. So, yeah, we'll do something for John today. I'm not sure what. We didn't plan anything out. Hey, girls. Girls coming to visit Daddy. Hey, girls. Hello, baby. Oh. Now, you know, you make up for a family that you don't have. And that all works out pretty well, actually. So I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll probably get a cake or something today. I don't know if we just do a separate celebration. I didn't really want, you know, but she will, you know. Well, let's call it a celebration of life. Let's not necessarily call it a celebration of getting old. I'm afraid that's an affliction that every single one of us have, whether we like it or not. Nobody likes getting older, but they appreciate that they are still alive. Let's kind of look at that in a positive way. It could be worse. You could be dead. What's the alternative of being alive? It's being dead. And I don't know about all this afterlife shit and all that stuff. I know when you're dead, you're dead. Do you ever get under propofol for an operation and they knock you out? Count to 5. As soon as you hit 3, you're out. Black, lights out. You don't know what's going on. It's just nothingness. I mean, you don't hear, you don't see, you don't remember. So as they give you that shot, and of course the anesthesiologist, they tell you to count backwards from 10, but by the time you get to 7, you're out on propofol. And you'll know when you're going to go out almost instantly because your eyes start to darken what you see. Everything around you suddenly is like, it's like the lights are being dimmed, but really quickly. Have you ever been put under? Anybody ever been under anesthesia? Yeah, Michael Jackson used to do that voluntarily. Jeez, it's amazing. But it's weird. I don't know. You know, nobody's ever really died and came back to talk about it. At least nothing I know of. I've heard all stories. They've seen the light and all that stuff. I don't know. I think it's the brain matter, electrical impulses in the brain that is still kind of, you know, if you have half a brain, it's, you know, there's still activity in there, you know. They say when the guillotine, people get the guillotine, they get their head cut off. For a few seconds, they're still alive. Till your brain senses that, oh shit, no blood circulation, I'm out. You know how horrible that is? The guillotine. The guillotine! And they're still looking. For this couple of seconds, they're still looking at people. Their head is on the ground. Oh, God, that's a gross thing to talk about. That's kind of gross. But, oh well. Anyway, the Ponderosa here today. I'm not sure what we're doing in regards to John's birthday, but I'm going to do something today. Maybe a combination. I don't know, separately. I'm not really sure what I want to do. But I figure, why not celebrate? And if we go out to eat, well, I'm not going to put that on camera. I'm stopping there. In fact, I think after this show here, we're taking a small break. I'm on information overload at this moment. Man, I think I regurgitated more than a few syllables in regards to the nature of the beasts out here. The nature of the beasts. More information that I could take in at once about the trolls on here. I don't know. How much more do I need or have to make my points about anything on here, really, when you think about it? I think I made my point very well. Go with it or don't go with it. I don't care either way. I've learned a lot about people on here. I'll tell you what, I learned a lot about myself too. And some positive things, actually. Yeah, I am an amazing person. I think I really am. Proven. And I'm not going to put myself on a pedestal and say I'm better than anybody else on here. If it seems that way, maybe because I am. Got more shit together than a lot of people, but I'm not going down that road again. And I've been doing quite a bit of shows on here too. It's on Overkill for you, and it's on Overkill for me. So let me celebrate my birthday in peace. I don't know if I'm going to do a little uh, clip or something of anything on my birthday or not. I don't know. I think I'm doubting it. But I think I need to take a small break, if not permanent, uh, as I hit my very special birthday. Maybe it's time to make an assessment of my presence on YouTube, actually. Um, I know that's going to interfere with people's shows and topic matter to talk about after a while, but I think they'll get over it and find a new victim. But I don't know, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Certainly take a break or something on here. I got a lot of shit I got to deal with still, and I got to take care of business, and I have been. And concentrate a hell of a lot more on family here and not get diverted my attention to other things like YouTube shows and all that stuff. So I think maybe it's time to take a little bit off. And I need to get a haircut sometime too. Yeah, I'm going to need to. And I got to get that just for men out too, baby. A little bit too much gray starting to show out there. If I want to look gray and old, I'll just let my hair go and I'll look like someone like Don C, but I don't want to go that far. I don't want to go that far. Doing that stuff that just it works for me, it doesn't work for everybody else. As I said, it's according to what color your hair is and all that stuff. But I refuse to dress and act and all that stuff, you know, as a senior. And that itself is what keeps you young. You could surrender to your age if that's what you want to do, but that's not me. Don't get me wrong. I know my limitations. Oh, I absolutely do. That goes without saying. And there are certain limitations, but other than that, it's business as usual every day. Whatever age I am, I'm at, I can't stop the clock from turning, neither can anybody in my audience. It's one thing that we all do not have control of. None of us, no matter who you are, what your business is on YouTube, what your gripe is about YouTube and people on it. You can't stop Father Time. I mean, look at these people that I pointed out and how not well, they're aging. You know, whether it's the obesity issue, baldness, graying out, if you have any hair. But that's part of life. But I guess all I've been trying to say on my shows is that for a long time is that I think we all have a certain amount of control. I know we do. And I can't control everything. I can't stop the clock. And of course, my time is limited on Earth. The older you get, but, you know, what other choice do you have? You can't turn back the clock on your age, but your attitude you could change. You know, you got to drop your altitude besides attitude. When your nose is just too high and the altitude too high in the sky and you're looking down at other people, that's one thing you could try to work on besides obesity issues, baldness, character flaws, trying to make people feel horrible because you're not happy about yourself. That's the kind of stuff that you actually have control. Well, some of the stuff you have control of, whether it's obesity, whatever. If you're losing your hair, you're losing your hair. That's it, you know. That's not like a major issue. To some, I would not look good with a bald head. And some people would. Bruce Willis, you know, people like that, you know, they could get by with a bald head. I don't like the penis look myself, to be honest with you. I mean, look at the characters on here. They're all bald and their heads look like fucking penises. But, you know, alopecia, hormonal changes, whatever, wearing a cap, whatever, makes you lose hair. And if you lose hair, you lose hair. What are you going to do about it? You just cover your head with a hat and it's all over with. Ask any chemotherapy patient that's wearing hats. That's what a hat's for. To cover what they don't want people to see, right? Okay. Not much more to say. I'm talked out. And it's becoming too much of a habit doing multiple shows on here. Oh God, information comes in. More so lately. There's been a ton of information hitting my desk. It's becoming a little overwhelming. Too much to share. And I appreciate the share of information, I really do, because it's nice to know who these people really are. It's nice to know the background when you need to use it. But I think I made my point. I think I've talked about all of that as the information came in and sharing new information, and a lot of it just came out on its own. People's own admittance, that maybe they were, molested as a child, Brevis, Barry, who knows who else. All of this shit came out. So I don't know what to talk about anymore. Talk about Popeye's false valor. That's a horrible thing, though. Look, my uncle saw action, got the shrapnel, had the time to prove it. I'm sorry, that's where he's really wrong, As I said, he's no foxhole. He didn't fight in any war. And there's a lot of veterans out there that are starting to hone in on this, I heard. How he could fucking put his show on YouTube anymore is beyond me. The somber, I can't talk about it. The things I've seen. You didn't see shit, Robert Clausen. I don't want to get into that. I already did. This is getting old. I'm getting old. YouTube is getting old. The characters are getting old. The stories are getting old. You might be talking about Popeye's stolen valor. Yes, not false, but yes, stolen valor. Yeah, that's better the word, stolen valor. Proper. But hey, keep up the good work, folks. You're doing a good job. Your information has been wonderful. It's been a learning experience for me. I mean, it really, really has. I'm not sure what else I'm going to have. I ate for breakfast, but I didn't. I don't know. I need some protein to get in me. I'm not getting enough protein. Someone suggested to get at least 90 grams of protein a day. And I have not been getting 90 grams of protein in here. That's why I'm tired sometimes. I don't know. Stolen valor shortly. No, I'm not talking about it. I'm talked out. I mentioned it. And listen, I know you guys need me as a news source, as an information source, as entertainment, a learning experience, which it certainly has been with me. But comes a time when old ships need to be put in port and worked on and maybe retired before your ships sink. I can't believe all the stories I've told on here since I've been on here, all the things I've shared with people. And some people have taken my advice and some have not, and take a look at them now. So that's the whole point of this thing, and I've been doing it at a couple of shows the past couple of days. It's pointing out that these people actually do have faults, and they have no business trying to find a reason to find fault with somebody else. It's the same, saying that, clean up your own backyard before you tell me to pick the shit out of my backyard. Once they do that, they won't have a need to pick on anybody else. I mean, it's just really gotten out of control on here. I'm like the reason that people even live. I'm like the reason that people even put shows on. They wouldn't be making any money if they wouldn't be talking about me. They wouldn't know what to talk about on this show if they weren't talking about me. Yeah. George Giannis says, no, Frank, don't quit now. Kevin has meaning now, of course, of you. If you quit, Big Kev would have to pay you to come back out of desperation. So he has a show. No, I didn't say I was totally quitting here, man. I just think I honestly need a break. And do it for me and do it for my girlfriend too, really. We'll do a little bit of a show right now. How much more I don't know, but we'll talk a little bit. We'll have a little rap session here, that's for sure. And even so, I'm thinking about what the hell to talk about. It's really come down to that point. And I think when you said everything you possibly could, I mean, you could hear it in my voice this morning, right? I sound burned out. You could hear it. What do you smell? You smell good.
Regular soap.
Is it a shampoo that you use?
Regular soap?
A regular soap?
Yeah.
What kind?
The same, what we get there.
I don't smell that good after
I
a
don't
shower. What am I using? If I could smell it, the white soap? Is it that white soap? The pump one? Oh, that actually has a very nice smell. Don't get dressed. You smell good. Damn. George says, George says protein is good for immune system, but you don't weight train, so you may not need a whole lot. No, I don't weight train. I just work out with some, Jane Fonda weights, as they call it, But I got to do a lot more of that, because otherwise protein is going to turn to fat, and, I know all that shit. No, but the thing is, you get older, you need more protein, George. Or else you will get frail. I mean, really frail. Not just saying somebody's frail to hurt their feelings. George says, I think as you get older, you need more. Yes, I just said it, right? But unless you're doing weight training a lot, you probably are okay. I get enough protein in me, though, yeah. I mean, I don't expect any miracles at my age to have these big-ass fucking biceps and all that shit, a big chest and all that, but that's not what I want. I'm happy with a little bit of muscle definition and certainly to work on different muscles, because in the legs, I'm not concentrating enough on that, because I think one of the most important aspects actually is working on your legs and making them stronger as you get older. You got to be able to get off the chair, of course. You got to be able to bend down. You got to be able to support your body weight. And one of the things that a lot of people don't work on because they're too concentrated on their looks in regards to their pectoral muscles and their biceps and triceps and so forth, quads and all that, it's really the one thing of concentration as you get older is your legs. It's your legs. And I, for one, know I'm not doing enough for that. And as people get older, they might find it harder to move around, support themselves. Something even as simple as a chair routine. Sit on the chair. You could do that, right? Get up off the chair. Sit straight. Sit down again. Rinse and repeat. Do that every day. That's one start. It helps a little bit your core. I mean, it will definitely help your legs. Stationary bike or just a lot of walking. Or, stationary bike could be a little more intense than walking because you could set it to have more resistance. And you don't need, a workout. You don't need a weight machine to do that. But it's according with the intensity you're trying to do. It's hard as hell to get enough protein, yeah. I knew this guy, Jeff, he used to work in the parks department, in the plumbing department. Yeah, Jeff's a big guy. He was like 6, I forgot, big guy. I think he had Norwegian in him. He had to, yeah. A lot of people I knew in Seattle did have Norwegian that were really big. Norwegian blood. They were all big. I never seen many short Norwegian males. Women maybe, but no, I never did. They're big. They're big. I mean, Jeff's hands as big as my head, And since he worked out with tools, this guy built hot rods. I mean, well, he inherited money from his parents, but, his longevity to Parks Department. He was making good money after a while, and besides any money he made from his parents that passed away and ownership of their house or two, artwork, whatever, Jeff would be like, always with tools. Jeff was mechanical. I'll just give you an example. You don't care about Jeff. I know you don't even know who he is, but Jeff would always be working with, just like this guy Ron I knew too, a Norwegian. He was a pipe fitter. He did this, he did that, he did this. He was Norwegian. He had hands that were also as big as your fucking head. Hands that you don't want around your goddamn neck, I can tell you that. Either one of these. But Jeff was one of these people who was a big guy. And he worked out. And he had some really good sized biceps. He worked all the time. He was always at 24-hour fitness somewhere. He was always doing something. Jeff never smoked, but he drank like a fish like most people. He was the ass chaser, you know, as most guys like him are who have a really large ego, and that Jeff did have a large ego. But yeah, he worked out. He's simply for muscle. The chicks liked it, you know, for view. But unless you really work out your leg muscles and the important muscles, for example, even your hands, as you get older, you still want to get a strong grip. Let's say you fall, you want to grab onto something. If you don't have strong hands, you're not going to be able to hold that grip on something. Something as simple as your hands that most people don't even think about. Yeah. George, I don't know how much protein I get. It varies. I don't measure it. Sure, absolutely. You'll have to email me first. Well, I want any information. Frank in Hawaii 54 at yahoo.com. Oh, you certainly can. Oh, wait a minute. It was you or somebody else that said they were going to send me something. They never did. Okay. Rise protein bars are all natural. Almonds, I like almonds, honey, and whey protein isolate, so no lactose. Yeah, sounds good. Sure, if you want to do that, I'd appreciate that, and I will certainly not waste it, that's for sure. Absolutely. Thank you in advance if you really want to do that. Keep me informed. I can provide you my address on there. It's a very general address. There's no house number or nothing, but everybody knows where I live anyway. You don't even need a official address. But if you write me on the email, certainly, yeah. They don't mail to PH, so you need to use a mail folder or ship it to yourself overseas. Oh, I don't know. Where are you? You're in the States? How are you going to mail it to me? It's like this. Can't be bought and shipped PH. You have to actually use a service. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's either you could send it or you can't send it here. I still don't understand what you're getting at. Oh, do your best. Sure, I'd appreciate it. I have a traveling mailbox. I never heard of that. Traveling mailbox accepts packages, and then they ship it for me overseas. Oh, okay. That's cool. It's really hard to get things here in the Philippines. I've tried shipping things back here. You know, but I buy on boxes. It took 3 months to get a box from Hawaii over to here. I've done that numerous times. Before I left to live in Hawaii, and actually while I was visiting, for Philippines, I mean, and when I was actually in Hawaii for over a year, because of the COVID, I was shipping a few boxes here and there. It's pretty expensive, but it takes so long. No, it was about $100 a box. But I had to fill it to the brim, and they would give you one size box, and that was it. And whatever you could safely put in that box, you did. So you had to do some careful packing, because your merchandise may not even been worth $100. Well, yeah, mine was. Traveling mailbox is a U.S. address you get. Oh, you can even scan envelopes and ship packages for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to get. Oh, okay. It's surprising how many things won't ship overseas. A lot of stuff, even from Amazon, won't ship overseas. So you need a I'll mail forward, Frank, if you want to start buying stuff from America. Nah, a lot of stuff I order is basically from Lasada. Some things I need, you can always get it. I order things from Lasada. And there's a lot of different products that you can get from Lasada that maybe come from America. I mean, it's worth it. Yeah, shipping fee, all that stuff, but there's a lot of things I can't get around here, you know. And there's certain things that Lasada has. I don't deal with Shopee. I don't have an account with them. So I'm always with Lasada. I recommend protein bars if you want extra protein. Yeah. Either that or whey protein powder. God, I can't believe I actually gave away a big coffee can size container of this thing when I was in Hawaii. It was expensive. Oh, it sure was. I bought it actually from Walmart. It was a big can of whey protein. But see, the thing is, another thing too is you don't want too much I had kidney stones, and maybe it's all related or something. I had an operation. I don't know, just something to do having too much protein in your urine, and maybe that's not good. When you take a test on your urine and they measure your protein level, there's something to that. And I forgot what the hell it was. I read powders are suspicious to customs, so you might be better with protein bars. Yeah, I think that would be something to think about. Mm-hmm. But if you could send it, then by all means, just let me know. I've had people promise to send me stuff before, and they never did. But receiving it is another thing. But the thought that counts anyway. Yeah, I should have. Would you believe I had brought Alka-Seltzer with me? I still have a shitload of it. I wanted to see, because I had some packages that gone bad. Maybe the air came out. Maybe it wasn't airtight. They were terrible. But I opened up just for the hell of it to test it. Some Alka-Seltzer packets I had that I took from Hawaii, and they work real fine. So I'm glad I got a shitload of that. They seem to last a while. As long as the packaging is good, the so-called, what do you want to call it, the efficacy of it might be slightly reduced or something, possibly, but yeah. Well, that's what I tried to do, and I ran out. And by the way, I got like Tums, you know, Equate, made by Equate. You can buy that in Walmart, Equate brand. I got a ton of Tums still here, a couple of them even unopened. But the one thing I should have really brought it, but there is a substitute here, by the way, in the Philippines, if you guys didn't know that. There is a substitute. God, I have to look it up again, God damn it. But Pepto-Bismol. Look at the chemical on there. You could get that locally here in another product. Huh? Oh, you're going to go to market?
Yeah.
So what are we doing here, babe?
Fish.
You going to buy some fish?
They go there in market.
Sounds fishy to me. Really? Really? Oh. So, I know what you're going to do. Watchdog almost tripped on you. Get me one. Get me. All right, thank you, sir. Oh. God, I stood up real quick and I got dizzy. Is he getting old? Okay. Yeah, I've brought back some stuff and it lasted. But Pepto-Bismol, yes. If you had to order that on Lasada, you could be paying about $25 or something for a small bottle. I'm not kidding. I might be off a little bit. But there is a local you could find in the stores around here. And God damn it, Bismuth something is the you could get it locally here. It's not going to be the pink liquid. It's not going to be anything like that. I got it somewhere, and I'll look it up and maybe share it sometime in the future. But that was always great for the stomach and how it coated the stomach. I really liked that. Oh, about iHerb, yeah, you can at least get a lot of stuff from iHerb without a mail order. Order stuff from iHerb. They will ship from U.S. direct to a middleman, and they might have some good protein bars. I haven't checked. Yeah, I used to eat protein bars back in U.S. Not all the time, but I used to buy them. But I always remember reading that a key point is that as you get older, you are going to need more protein to keep that muscle tone, and you need the extra protein. I've always known that. And I do eat meats. Eat a lot of chicken. There's protein in there. I eat a lot of beans, kidney beans. I eat lentils. I have eggs. I drink almond milk. Everything has protein in it. Whether I'm getting enough for my age, well, that's a whole nother different story. $20. So you're not going to send me it? Come on now. Ah, dude, man, I'm like fucking broke, man. You know, that's what they say. I'm broke with all this legal shit and all that, and you know, all my geriatric needs. Yeah. Speaking of geriatric, how about the Geritol? That's when you know you're old, is when you're taking Geritol. God, Geritol goes back to fucking 1950s or something. Geritol. Okay. Well, please send it. I want to see how good it is. And read the package and everything. I gotta admit, though, time has taken a little bit of toll. I find it really... Partially because I'm not getting the amount of sleep that I really need. So when I get up in the morning, it's like the first thing I should be doing besides taking a piss is I should be working out while it's cooler in here, but I find it hard to do. You know, I got a good energy level mostly during the day, but in the morning, like a lot of people, I want to do is get on the treadmill. And I was doing good for a while. I just been getting lazy, man. And that's the thing we have to find. Becomes habit, and then you're going to fall apart physiologically, and you're going to get obese like these people we see on here, and, you know, all hell is going to break loose. And you just have to really put yourself to do it. I mean, you got to really want to do it for yourself, not for anybody else, but do it for yourself. But you're also doing it for others that you care about, too. They don't want to see you die and get ill. And besides, they're going to be the ones who have to take. So, yeah, I'll definitely try those bars. No problem. Just let me know. Okay, so where am I at today? Man, you can just hear it in my voice. You can just hear it in my voice. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of arguing with a bunch of fools on here, and before my birthday comes, maybe it's an epiphany or something. But worn out with this back and forth shit on YouTube. I just got to finish the remaining of my business, and I'll be real happy. Take care of business I need to still take care of, and I'll be real happy. And I'm not everybody's information source on here. That was never my job. But so be it. People do send me information. People tell my gig. But they like to pound this stuff on me on YouTube, and when I go to do that, you know, they just fall to pieces. And if I don't talk about Big Kevin or anybody, then Kevin loses a lot of ammunition for his show. He knows that. He needs me on here, as with some other people.
But it's all about the money with Kevin. Some other people, they don't give a shit, but with him, it's all about the money. As I said, he's got money. He's got money. But hey, I thank you very much on a happy birthday. Not yet, but pretty soon. Might as well say, if I drop dead today or something, I mean, I'm still going to be my new age. I mean, it came this far. You know what I mean? A matter of days. Which is a miracle in itself, but nobody knows how long they're going to fucking live when they're a lot younger. Till it happens and you don't know anything anymore. You're gone. Here today, gone tomorrow, the way it is. People will forget you in time. As the decades go by, you become a further memory from people's minds. Whoever's still alive at the time that actually knows who you are or remember you, peers, friends, what do I smell? Somebody burning something, or is that fucking marijuana? Somebody walking by, they smoking a joint? I don't know. Haven't smoked that for a while. No, I think somebody's just burning something. You never know. But time goes by as fast. Faster than you can possibly think of. Turn your head, one day it's your birthday. Turn your head, a little later it's your birthday again. Christmas, this, that, this, another birthday. I guess rejoice, because it means you're still alive. But some people don't appreciate other people. Like some people don't appreciate their dads. They're not going to be here forever. And some people should appreciate their children, multiple children. It's more important to go move to Southeast Asia or something than to go visit your kids, but I'm not getting into that. Let's see, counterflow. I think they all went over the line. Arguments are normal, but slander and libel are not to be tolerated at all costs. Well, if you don't know the story, I got somebody that went to court. I took him cyber libel, so he's in jail, related, and some not related to the situation. George Gioni says, I'm not going to lie, Frank. I'm a religious viewer in the background. Have many more birthdays, bro. Well, I hope so. I'm not ready to go. And I don't really see myself as being that fucking old either. I just really don't. Now, chronologically, I know what my age is. You don't have to tell me, I'm quite aware of it. I used to do like a friend of mine back in Seattle used to do, Mark. His name is Mark. I asked, how old are you now, Mark? I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff. He didn't. He didn't celebrate birthdays. Well, that's what he told me. That's what he told me, but I don't know if that's truth or not. How could you not know your birthday or think about it? You look at a birthday as two different things. Getting closer to death or celebrating life itself. I like to choose more of celebrating life. I'd like to go more in that direction. Celebrating life, that you made it, however old you are. You made it, pal, you made it. And there's some people that's right here on YouTube, right here, that are probably, a lot of them are younger than me, sometimes even much younger. And their lifestyles and everything else with them is not very conducive to actually living to hit my new decade of life. Not at all. And it's kind of sad that they're doing certain things that, and look, I for one, I'm doing a bad thing, but I'm not doing everything bad. But these people, I don't know, loss of self-respect, I don't know. They just really go overboard. Why, I don't know. I mean, people are going to do whatever they want to do. It's not my business, really. They have to deal with their own selves. I don't have to pay their medical bills, and I don't have to feel sorry for somebody who is,
using their mouth as a food disposal if it was a necessary need. I mean, they're just pounding the shit down their fucking mouth like there's fucking no tomorrow. Even if there was no tomorrow, you're still not gonna pound a lot of the shit down your throat because you can only eat so much. Let's get realistic. You can only eat so much. That wouldn't make any sense. I don't know. It's like these people that go to a buffet. I've spoken about this. They go to a buffet place. You have to pay a price. And, it's pretty much an all-you-can-eat thing. Some places have limits, believe it or not. But anyway. And they just eat and eat and eat. They don't realize that, although I understand they're trying to take advantage of the fact that they have to pay for this meal, that it's not free, and they got an opportunity to eat just as much as they want. But what they don't realize is that how many heart attacks result from that, because the blood that's meant to flow to your heart when you're overeating is going to be rushed to your digestive system. And as such, you got blood that's rushing away from your heart, and oxygen too. And they wind up dying of a heart attack. You got the money to eat out and whatever, And I'm not saying that you can't enjoy yourself, but having a fat wallet doesn't always mean you're doing something healthy. I like eating, I like food. We need food. But I'm not a foodie. Some people are foodies. I'm not a foodie. I'm not a foodie. I eat to survive, but I get joy and pleasure from things I eat, right? But I'm not going to go overbound. I eat until my stomach, just before it's starting to feel full, and that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. When you go beyond that, then it's causative of problems. But don't listen to me. I don't know anything. I just belch out a bunch of bullshit, right? Don't take offense, but it's clear you are more responsible and sensible person between you and your daughter. Maybe you should... Oh, I've tried to reach out. I don't want to get into that again. I've done reaching out. I'm 10 years younger than Don C. looks. Oh, easily. You can only reach out so much. I'm at the end of the line, really. I'm in that last quarter, It's not up to me anymore to reach out to her. It's up to her to reach out to me. I've done my part. That's all I can do. I'm not going to beg anybody. Like I said, I did my job raising her on my own. How much more can I do? Do my best. You can only do so much in life. You can't force trolls not to talk about you unless you take them to court and teach them a good little fucking lesson that they'll never, ever do it again. Well, some probably will. They're cocky enough to do it again. Where is, I'm looking for something here. Where the hell did I put this thing? Yeah, lately it's just been kind of getting to me, really, this YouTube shit. And when I start talking about it, then I'm saying, hey, this is real, I said all I could possibly say. I don't know what more I could say about these people. I think they've done a good job on their own, kind of exposing themselves. I think they've done a fantastic job, actually, now that I think about it. People are going to live the job live the life that they want to live. And that is completely out of my control. Well, it's not my job to really coach anybody. There's a lot you can learn from somebody that makes it beyond their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. There's a lot to learn because they've lived life. Years from now, when I'm long gone, they'll still be playing my videos on here. Well, maybe not, because most of these people, they're starting to age themselves. Down in the annals of history. The annals of history. Oh, yeah, I did, of course. Yeah, well, what can you do, man? I love my daughter, but, I can't force her to do anything. Shame, because I miss out on my grandchildren. That was not right. That was not right. That was not right. I got 4 grandchildren, now 5. Now 5. I couldn't even get to know them. And that's not my fault. You don't involve your children in stuff like this. You really shouldn't do that. I mean, you really shouldn't do that. A man can only try, and that's all he can do, right? Sorry for a second there. Cut the audio off. How long was that off? Anyway, see, I started to say that I don't necessarily feel sorry for people that get that obese. They did that on their own, and I didn't shove any food down their mouth. They do this all on their own, and you know, I could feel their agony, and the way people might make fun of them, and and how their health is failing, but I didn't do it to them. And if you are a person who's overweight like that and really obese for your height and frame and all that, you did it to yourself. I was off for about 2 minutes, really. I wonder I lost a couple of people on here. I don't control what people do, man. That's one thing. I don't have that magic power to control what people say or what they do with their own bodies. But I know the biggest affliction among smoking or anything is drinking and eating. Eating heavily and drinking heavily. And it seems to be a formula with a lot of the expats that come out here or visit. They have these afflictions, some major afflictions. Unless you shouldn't come out here if you have any pre-existing conditions. That I say number one. But I've never felt sorry for fat people. I never did. I never will, unless it was caused by some glandular problem, your glands or something. And there's some people that don't seem to eat a lot, but they gain a lot of weight. There's something going out of control in their body. These are rare circumstances. But when you're overweight like that, it's nobody's fault but your own. It's not like I'm going to sit here and say, ha ha, I'm making fun of you because you're fat. I'm just stating some facts, that's all. It's out of my control, and it's really none of my business, really. I can talk about it. There's nothing I can do to help people except say, hey, help yourself. You're not my honey. You're not my girlfriend. You're not my family. YouTube family, perhaps, but you're not my personal family. I could give advice, but you could take it or not, and either way, it don't matter. Throw it out the window. I can only say that certain things have worked for me, may not necessarily work for you, or whether supplementation I take, or what I eat. I'm not your standard cattle. I just never have been. Breakfast doesn't mean eggs all the time, and bacon and shit like that. No. I'll have kidney beans or vegetables for breakfast sometimes. My body's talking to me all the time. And when I see some things that these people eat, I can almost hear my arteries hardening by just looking at that. I said, I'm not going to eat that. It was just dripping with fat or something. I said, no, I'm not eating that. Thank you, but no thank you. Many of these guys look like they lived a hard life in the West. Yeah. Apparently so. But, and I'll say this again and I'll repeat it. I don't wish, and I'm being as honest as I've ever can, I don't wish ill on anybody. As well, again, as I don't wish illness on myself or somebody I love. I really don't. No matter who you are, what you said about me, you've done to me, I don't wish illness on anybody. I just wish people would wake up and smell the real coffee of life and get their shit together, with their diet, with their health, their attitude, and so forth. Because life is really short. And you'll know it as you get older, man. You feel it in your bones. You know it. Certain things you were able to do with ease, and certain things maybe you can't do with such ease anymore. There's going to be changes. There's going to be differences. And you're not going to be able to help it. Yeah. And because life is short, when people spend all their time, and that's why I'm so burned out, when people spend all their time trying to do shows about you, and all they won't say a kind word about you. And the funny thing is, a lot of people actually like me, but they don't want other people to know they do. They're afraid of being attacked. What I say is be independent, be original in your thoughts. If you like somebody, tell them. The same people who don't like me, they're avid listeners of my show. Absolutely. They're avid listeners. Tell me they're not. I know exactly who the famous 13 are on here. I get a lot of that magic 13. In fact, right now it's at 13. Lo and behold. But these are the ones that have a big concern about what I say. Of course, I've gotten more views than that. But these are like 13 main people who live and breathe everything I say on here. And I'm going to have to say one more time again about Popeye Robert Clausen. You did a really injustice to the very people you were trying to impress on your show, Popeye. I want to emphasize this more to any veterans out there. You did an injustice, lying about what you did in the service. You did not do 90% of the things that you talked about in the Navy. You didn't, Robert. That was wrong. It wasn't wrong to memorialize the veterans. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Why not? They did serve the country one way or the other, but Robert, you didn't do all the things you said you did. You didn't. And that's an injustice. You're sounding like another Johnny Warrior now. You're no different than him. That was wrong, and I guess they're starting to talk about it on the other platforms now. Wasn't right. And then he goes on the attack of me, the other half of the show. If these people would think of changing their life around and doing something, needlepoint something, do something to change your life and your habits, instead of spending and wasting your precious oxygen on me and others. You could go tomorrow, guys. What's your legacy that you want to leave? Yeah, I guess it don't matter on YouTube what your fucking legacy is. Who the fuck are they? Who cares what people think? They're not even personal friends. So who cares what they fucking think on YouTube? But it's outside your life and your personal life. Do you have family that gives a shit about you? And they don't have to be blood family. Even your own dogs. You got a parrot that cares about you? I don't care. It's being cared for by other people. That's what it's all about. It's not what somebody says on YouTube about somebody. It's totally irrelevant. Just examine the source, where it's coming from. And then you could understand why they're so bitter. All right, I'm going to wind down on here. Boy, I have to go in the other. I can feel it already in the other room. It's just been really humid around here. And I'm becoming more heat sensitive, I'll tell you that. As I said, thank goodness for air conditioners. You're not going to find many expats out here that are not sitting under an air conditioner, I'll tell you that, if they can afford it. No matter what they say. Oh, I could only use a fan, and that's good enough. No, I don't buy that. We get some hot-ass days out here on a regular basis. And I know you spoil yourself, you're acclimating yourself to the air conditioner, which makes, in all sense to me, makes it harder to adjust to the heat outside. What's that region? Popeye retired from the Navy in 1988. The Gulf War was 90 to 91. Popeye is a liar. Was it 1988? All right, we're proving more that he's a liar. Popeye, you shouldn't even come on YouTube anymore. You really shouldn't. You're making such a fool of yourself, and people are catching up on what you're all about. I know you're listening to me, because what else you got to do? You made a shamble of the veterans. The one thing you don't do that other veterans don't like, because you've had veterans out there that's actually seen action. In fact, they've gotten hurt and are killed, but the ones that are alive can speak about it. And when they hear something like Robert Clausen coming on there, and just exaggerating what he did in the Navy when he served there, and I'm not even a serviceman. I've never been a serviceman. But it even bothers me, and I'm not a veteran. It even bothers me. I will stick up for these vets because I wasn't there, but I do have knowledge of what a lot of vets have gone through that have actually seen action. And it's not funny. It's quite serious shit. Some made it home in a casket. Some that survived lost a leg or an arm or something. It's not funny. And when Robert Clausen comes on with this phony honor of the veterans of US of A, it really irritates the shit out of me and others. More so now, I'm hearing other people talk about it. gung-ho about America and everything else, but you're the piss poor example of a serviceman. A serviceman would have respect, period, because you were trained in the service for respect. Whatever it was, respect your God, respect your sergeant, whatever. You were, besides being taught other endeavors in there, killing and everything else, they tried to teach you respect and honor. But you're not honoring the vets, Popeye. You're not honoring the vets. You're a piss poor example of somebody with this false shit. And shame on you for that. Shame on you for that. George says, I love heat, but I don't buy Kevin saying that he hates cold in his room. I sleep in hot temperatures, but I still put the aircon on to keep it within reason. That's what I do. I don't. What do you think I put it on? I put it on about 27 centigrade at night. Rarely, maybe 26. Some people put all the way down to 16, but you're going to kill your unit that way. Because I also have an overhead fan. Overnight, your body temperature tends to go down, I guess. I'm no doctor, but I wake up actually chilled to the bone sometimes in the morning. If she's still sleeping, I go there, and first thing I do is I shut the air conditioner. I leave the overhead fan on, but I shut the air conditioner. It gets too cold, even at 26, 27. Talking about his service is Popeye's shtick. He's a walking stereotype, yeah. You gotta watch yourself, Popeye. That kind of shit gets your ass in trouble. I know, you're behind your protective doors and all that shit and protective computer screen, but one day, Popeye, and I hope that fucking happens to you. Of all people, I think you really deserve to have a fucking lashing by somebody. He's a guy who probably puts flags on his mobile scooter. Probably plays all these Navy, got a little device on there that plays all these Navy songs. He's so gung-ho about the service. But he's pissing on servicemen. He's pissing on servicemen. Pretense valor is not acceptable, Robert Clausen. It's not acceptable, and I'm not even an ex-serviceman. I'm not a veteran, but it really, just really pisses me off. Don't pretend to be something that you're not. But unfortunately, we have a lot of people out there that pretend to be something that they're not. But they've all been found out, haven't they? Yeah. It's not my job. It's not my job. However, I got a bee in here. I gotta let him out. It's not my job to tell these people what they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing. It's their gig. But point is, don't lie about your service time. And don't make up stories that I was a draft dodger. That's the last thing I'll ever be, but no, I didn't want to be in the service. It would not have been my choice. It certainly would not have been. That's my gig. But don't down me because I wasn't in the service. And don't say I was a draft dodger when I wasn't. And don't pretend to be some fucking hero when you're not. There is something to say about people in the service, no matter what reason or rhyme that they went there. But they did. And I guess you have to give them credit for that. They were serving their country, no matter what they did. Like I said, swabbing the decks like Popeye or being a glorified guard, whatever. All right, he's still performing a duty. That's okay. You see, I don't have a problem with that, Mr. Clausen. Not really. But don't overplay what you actually did in the Navy. I think that's all a lot of us are trying to say about you. Don't overplay what you did. Be honest about what you did. There's no dishonor in saying that, you weren't seeing action or anything like that. But don't have that little somber moment when I can't talk about it. The things that I've seen. Oh, come on. As a fucking guard, you and your partners were beating up drunks over on the dock, or at the bars, in the longer pole, whatever. Just don't overplay the shit you do, man. That's bothersome to me. It's not, all the crap you talk about me is not as bothersome as, somebody pretending to do things that they didn't do. Anything I ever talked about on YouTube about myself, I did. as I said, maybe not grandiose, but I could definitely say that I did things that I did. And whatever little accomplishments I made, I did. I didn't lie about it. I didn't lie about it. But people like Popeye lie about shit like this. Talking about his services, Popeye, okay. Always wearing a Navy hat with matching t-shirt, that's Popeye. He should not be a representative of the Navy. He should not even talk about the Navy. He should not even talk about the... Why am I being so gung-ho about the service when I never did? Because the one thing I deplore is when people pretend to be something that they're not, or better than somebody else. I never tried to pretend I'm better than somebody else. I tell you little things about my life, and if it seems better than somebody else's, then so be it. But I'm not pushing them to the ground because I'm living the life that they don't have. I talk about it. And there's a lot of people that are not living the life when they're chasing their tails and not getting anywhere in life. And they have the nerve to talk about me. You talking about me? You talking about me? Talk about me. Maybe someday you'll have my life. Maybe someday you will meet that special woman. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you all. But you know what? Okay, Papa tells his Navy bar girl stories. Great representative. Shit, I know, the round table thing, I can't forget that. They're playing this blowjob thing with a fucking whore. She's got some fucking sleazy fucking lacey chick under the table giving him blowjobs. That's not even respecting a woman, even to have that done to you, even by a whore. They're all sitting around drinking their fucking booze and shit. Oh, the war days, the old war days. What war days, Popeye? You are your own war. You're fighting your own battle within yourself. That's what you're doing. And I'm off. Guys, I'll kind of catch you later.